What is up, Rams fan? Dude, it's so awesome to be back here chatting with y'all. I am still sick and getting over something, so I apologize if I've got to bail and cough out my entire torso. But we are almost wrapping up the preseason, and there's a lot of action to get into as we wrap up the preseason. Just one more game to go. I know that not everybody loves that the preseason exists. I feel like I still missed the fact that we had four because that's a lot of opportunities to see a lot of Rams players, a lot of depth of Rams depth. That makes sense. Just don't think about it that much. But today we're going to be talking about some of those guys that may or may not be sticking around. And joining me is the very mobile Tuna, who is floundering around, man. How you feeling, man?
That's the jellyfish dance from SpongeBob, man. Come on, we're
Yeah.
vibing today.
Well, you're Tuna, you're waving around. I don't know, man.
I hate that I can't come up with funny puns of like streams and rivers and stuff because tuna are typically in the sea. So I don't have any. I have no good puns to relate fish back to football. But anyways, hi. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm alive, and that's a good start at least. I've been powering through this illness, man. I couldn't do a Ram showcase this last week, man, because the last like however many days I couldn't get through a sentence without coughing all of my lungs onto the table. So that's we're better now, man. But yeah,
I had to do a welfare call on you the other day. I had to call the Colorado authorities. I had to figure out if you were like not stuck on a mountain.
County. Yeah, the El Paso County Sheriff's Department knocked on my door. They were like, "Yo, we're sheriff too, man. You good?"
Sheriff the sheriff. But yeah, man. No, I'm excited. Speaking of preseason, I don't think I've ever loved preseason as much as I have this year. I think this is the most excited I've been. I think Stetson Bennett is a huge part of that. I think when you have a really competent quarterback running an offense in preseason, because my pet peeve is bad quarterback play. Like that's the one thing that will make me stop watching a game.
Yeah,
I don't care. There could be a 6'3" slobber knocker, but if it's just great defense, I love it. But when it's not even good defense, but it's just horrible quarterback play, like I'm just gonna go take a nap. I can't watch this. It's really bad.
Man. And speaking of quarterback play, I mean, let's not dice it up too rough on Stead Benatar over here, man. He's looking good. He's making some really good decisions, man. He's throwing some really good balls. I ain't mad about it, man. I ain't mad about it one bit. I think Stetson's doing a really good job. I think the leap into this year is very clear cut. I think it's very obvious to see.
I was on LAFB network yesterday, and they asked me how confident I would be if, hey, all else fails, if Stafford has to miss time, Jimmy G gets hurt, how confident am I in the Rams if they have to go to Stetson Bennett? I said, F it, why not? Like, the guy's improved.
Yeah.
Him with an actual true non-vanilla McVay offense. I think he's smart enough to run it. I think it'd be fun. I still think they'd win a bunch of games if Stetson Bennett had to play quarterback. That's how much confidence he's given me. I'm not going to say, oh, he's the next coming of Kurt Warner, but I mean, he's enough of a dog enough. He's got that Mayfield in him, where he's a gamer, and it makes it exciting.
I think, I see a little bit of that Austin Davis, Baker Mayfield kind of, but I think that ultimately, man, what I look at is just the good decision making. I mean, I think we got a very obvious, like here is Stetson making a good decision on a platter when Aubrey Pleasant was talking to the crew, and that's the perfect example. He throws the ball away, Aubrey's just losing his mind. He's all good. That was great. So I think that ultimately, if we needed Stetson Bennett to play, Sean McVay could create a game plan for him to successfully run this offense, and I think that we would be okay. So I feel okay about it. Don't get me wrong. I don't really want to see Stetson Bennett play this year. If we get to that point, some tragedies have happened. All right. Like bad things have happened if we're watching Stetson Bennett start a game in like week 13. All right. So I don't want that to happen. Nothing against Stetson, but like, hopefully not.
I'm cognizant of that. But I will say what got me, I think what got me to turn around, because I was very on the fence about it even after 1 week, because I remember what he did last year. And I was impressed last year. I was like, oh, wow, like he's showing some really good things on film. Last week against Dallas, I was like, oh, damn, he's improved. Like, that's awesome. What sold it for me was I was at the game Saturday.
Nice.
The replays don't like even the angle that's behind him on that was it 48-yard touchdown pass he had to Mario Williams. That dot he threw. There's an angle of the camera behind him in the pocket. I don't think people are appreciating the kind of throw that was. That wasn't just any old like, oh, throw it deep. That was a line. That was a center fielder throwing it to home base from the wall and getting it off one hop. That was it was an incredible throw. I did not know his arm was that strong. I'm not gonna lie. And right there told me, hey, he can make every throw. I'm down. Like Stetson Bennett can play quarterback in the league.
Yeah, there was a few throws that I thought were just really nice. That one, of course. The earlier touchdown, that quick.
The Mumfield one.
Yeah, the Mumfield one, that quick one. I liked that one a lot. I just think it was great placement on it and stuff like that. So
it's kind of a no look.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know about all that. Was it though?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know.
So the camera angle in the back of the end zone, you see Bennett kind of staring down the flat and the ball, and you see after he throws it, his head turns more towards Mumfield. Very reminiscent of the Jimmy G one in training camp, the Puka.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
man. I ain't mad about it, man. I ain't mad about it. But we've got a lot of guys too. Unfortunate news for Willie Lampkin, by the way, that he's battling through some stuff. But I will say, I think he's done enough. I think he makes the team. I really do. I think that he's a depth piece. But
I'll take.
Okay, your reaction there kind of gives me some pause, dude.
Let's jump into it. Yeah, we want to talk depth chart pieces today.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Okay, that's actually first.
He's not going to play
my list.
Yeah,
he's done for what is he out for at least a few weeks with his ankle, a little bit of a knee. He got rolled up a little weird. I think I'm in the minority. I don't think he makes it. I think that there's other depth across the board. I think there's almost too much depth, which is weird to say. There's never enough, but too much in the case of trying to secure a roster spot, even without the injury. I was saying after the game, I think Bo Limmer is a little too important. I think they like what the other guys can bring, like Didich. And I think he goes practice squad, but with the designation of getting protected so he can't get poached. I think he's one of the 4, because there's 4 spots they can protect on the practice squad. I think he's that important for development. I think he goes practice squad. I don't think he's leaving the Rams no matter what, but I think
with his injury, that would make total sense. That it's like, let's just stash him. Like, obviously he can't even start the season, so let's just, stash him. Yeah. We've got him. We'll kind of keep him. I'll give you that one. That's completely fair. I want to steer away from offensive line. That's such a difficult one, especially with the way that this team evaluates that. Who's next on your list?
Sean Dolak.
Brolac, man. Looking really, really good, man. Making really smart decisions. The way he's attacking is very, very solid. We went from a situation with the inside linebackers where we didn't feel like we had anybody to now I feel like we've got, again, too many people. That's like we've got so many guys who have just like potential. Like Landman, I mean, I've been pounding the drum on Landman all off season. I thought that was a sweet addition. I think that finally the media, the Rams media and fans are starting to catch up to me with that. Like I feel like I was leading that charge a bit, which is cool.
You've been on it. You've been on it for weeks before training camp. I remember.
Yeah, Landman's my guy. He was my underdog, green dot, all that stuff. Spate's obviously going to be in there. Reader not playing in preseason, I think, tells us that he does stick around. Do you agree?
That's Super Bowl champion Troy Reader. He's got the veteran protections, man. He's going to be here. All jokes aside, I know I, for one, have not spoken well of Reader or Roseboom last year, but there's always a McVay guy on either side of the ball. Troy Reader is that guy. He's probably, does things the right way, leads in the locker room, film guy. He's going to make it for at least special teams, which makes it hard to think both rookies are going to make the roster. Yeah, between Dolik and Pooh.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird too because like it's not like Pooh's a bad player, obviously, but so far in preseason, it seems like Dolak is playing better right now, and I think that's for Pooh. I mean, I was expecting a slower start to his career. Like, I mean, he was a lower pick. I think that he's more in just a learn the game, like learn this level kind of situation. I do think he sticks around, but I mean, would that just mean Eli Neal, and Tony Fields are out? I mean, I think that makes sense. But do we keep
Yeah.
5 inside linebackers? I mean, with the way that this defense runs so much nickel, I just don't know if that's.
No, I think the number ends up being 4. I really want to see. I want to see the 2 rookies be the depth pieces behind Spates and Landman, like just from like a spark plug perspective. Like, hey, you got to
Yeah.
switch something up. If the defense is struggling, if guys need a breather, you insert some rookies, and some of these rookies just bring like that juice, like Omar Spates did last year. And
Yeah.
at this same point, is it crazy to say that both those rookies are further along than Spates was?
No, I don't think that's crazy to say. I also love, by the way, I was just thinking about this while I was watching the game against the Chargers. I think it's so awesome that Omar Spates was in a situation where he was fighting for a roster spot at this time last year, and now he's sitting on street clothes on the sideline because he's safe. I love that. I think that's so cool, man. Love that. Big.
That's gotta be a really good feeling for Spates, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's also like how I feel about this. The way this team treats preseason is if you're in street clothes and you're healthy, you've made it. You've made the team. You know, like that's just that because why would you be battling for a spot if you're not even out on the field? That's why I feel like Troy Reader is safe. Even though I do think that keeping Omar, Nate, Pooh, and Sean, I think would be the better the best 4 to keep, in my opinion.
So give me your final opinion then on Sean Dolick, because I think Pooh Paul makes it no matter what, because he was a draft pick.
Yeah.
But Sean Dolick, what do you think happens with him?
I think he goes to the practice squad. I think that's one of those things where fans are. I mean, we're in a spot, and I say this a lot on Ram Showcase, that it's good that we're in a spot where we have to cut good players. That's a good thing. We were in some St. Louis years where we were cutting or we were keeping guys that had no business being on an NFL roster because we needed bodies. Now we're in a spot where we have so much talent, so many good people, we have to cut good players. There's no choice.
I'm gonna make this even harder for you. Well, first, I agree. I want Dolick on the roster. I think he'd be an immediate plug and play on special teams. Because you imagine him being that little bulldog of like just hunting down the ball and getting tackles, but now on special teams. I think I hope that they're having a hard decision between that roster spot there. One that I think is even harder, to be honest, that DB spot.
Yes, absolutely. That DB spot is very right now. I like good luck. I mean, to Aubrey and the gang of trying to figure out who is the best grouping here to keep.
I'm writing out the list real quick because I have the depth chart up.
Yeah.
And well, I think the best way is to go through top to bottom and find out where that cutoff point is.
Okay, so we know Akello, Kobe, Darius, Emmanuel are staying.
Yes.
Those 4, I feel very as long as we're talking corner specific. If we get into safety, let's get a little bit more.
No, and I'm keeping like that star nickel back position off. So we're not talking Quinton. We're not talking Jalen McCullough. Who else is in there? Yeah, and all the safeties. Cam Curl, Cameron Kinchins. I don't want to talk about the nickel, and I don't want to talk about safety, like pure corner. So that's Witherspoon, Durant, Williams, Forbes, DK, Woods, Wallace, Jolly, Green, and Lampkin. Mm-hmm. So I agree with you, those 4, and I actually think it doesn't matter who they name like starting 1 and 2 come week 1, because I think that's going to change throughout the season. I think running back by committee. I think it'll be corner by committee based on matchup.
I absolutely agree.
5 and 6 is what I don't know, because I thought DK would be in street clothes more. The fact that he's played a lot of preseason, Is that just because of numbers, or is that you think they are still evaluating his injury?
I mean, when you're playing in the fourth quarter of a preseason game, I think that tells you that you're, fighting to stick around.
That's fair. And
So
I mean,
I love DK, and I think that he looks a little different this year, and maybe that's because being missing time last year. I would say maybe he's trying to get his legs under him again, and maybe that's it as well. Maybe he's
I was
sitting
gonna
in
say
there and it's
that
like no, I want to play. It's been so long since I've been out there. Like I need some reps, man. So he might be
training camp
safe.
last year. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
missed. He hasn't played football since training camp last year.
Yeah, so he might be safe, but just being like, dude, I need some reps. I need some live action, man. I got to get out there. So that's a
Yeah,
possibility.
yeah. Outside of training camp, like he hasn't played live action since 2023.
Yeah. So
That's, I mean, maybe he's getting conditioned. I hope that's the case because I thought he was going to make I thought he was for sure like in the mix till he start. So what do you think? Do you think DK makes it? Do you think practice squad? What do you think?
I mean, I'm such a fan of him. I think he makes it. And maybe that's me just being a DK fan. But I think he's a really good player, man. I think I would hate to see him go somewhere else and absolutely crush it. I think that's kind of where I'm at with DK. Yeah.
Okay. I'm in agreement. I do think he makes it. I think when you look at the guys underneath him, I think maybe I don't see anybody having more like a peak potential than him. And then he brings that veteran. He's familiar with the system. I think there's just too many positives for him. I kind of think a majority. Yeah, he's been a starter, and I just think him playing isn't a designation on him fighting for a spot. I do think it is like, hey, getting back into the groove of getting his legs back under him. I'll throw these two guys into this. Actually, just three: Charles Woods, Josh Wallace, and Sean Jolly. Because now we're at 6, 7, and 8 on the depth chart.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I like Sean Jolly. I would say that in this trio, he may be the odd man out. He has had some plays in preseason where you're like, oof, come on, man. Like, but I just feel like he's not playing to like in every rep. It's like, dude, it's like, damn, Sean. Like, it's like, oh, that's one that he would get. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I would say of those three, if I had to go one, which I feel like would make sense, I don't know how many corners we're trying to keep. If we had to go one, I think Woods would be the guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to bring up his little profile here. I'm looking at size, even though it's probably not indicative on starting or not. Charles Woods, 5'11", 185. I think the biggest guy is going to be Josh Wallace at 6 foot. So all relatively same size. The smallest one being Sean Jolly at 5'8".
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's crazy.
Yeah. I think they only keep 6. This last spot's hard, man.
Yeah.
I think it has to be Charles Woods.
I think he's had the better preseason of those three. And I don't know about camp. I mean, obviously you have more insight on that, but
I saw I have to go back and look at my notes. From what I remember, I'm just trying to remember like how many times did I write a guy's name down? If I was writing a name down, it typically meant like, oh, this guy made a play, like give him a plus or minus. I remember jotting down Charles Wood's name a few times during camp. Wallace, not so much, and then Sean Jolly probably the least. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Woods. But at that point, you're hoping these guys aren't on the field because if they're 5 and 6. But exactly, who knows if it's by committee? You're rotating guys in. There's so much depth here. Like AJ Green had a pretty good game.
Yeah,
on Saturday had a few PBUs, was in the right position. But
Lampkin too, man. Lampkin can lay some hits, man.
Like hell of a room, like hell of a job by Pleasant and Shula, like putting this group together because. I'm looking at this, and this is really hard for me to decipher. And everyone's like, "Well, why do we care about the end of the depth chart?" It's like, well, injuries happen. You want the best guys in the backup position. Yeah,
and I can't sing the praises of Aubrey Pleasant enough, man. I everybody that comes through his his rooms specifically, I mean, they come out better.
Mm-hmm. So we're in agreement, Charles Woods.
Yeah, I think that's where I go with it. That's Akilo, Kobe, Darius, DK, Emmanuel, Charles.
And then I would place Wallace on the practice squad.
Yeah, I like Wallace. It's a cool story too. I mean, obviously we had so many undrafted, like the UDFAs coming in and sticking around last year in the secondary was really cool to see. I thought that was awesome because you obviously get like McCullough in there from last year as well. So that's just cool, man. I like to see that.
I think one thing I am going to say is I think McCullough is going to have a bigger role than people are expecting. He mixed in with the ones quite a bit when it came to training camp. He's in street clothes, and his two things: his number change. He switched to number 2, looks great, and then saw him like once or twice on the infinity board, like with the "Hey, get louder" type thing. And usually they only keep that for stars. So I was like, Jalen McCullough's up there. I was like, okay, little details, little details.
I want to switch back to the offense before we're out of time here, and go with another position group that we know is absolutely loaded. There's actually 2 that I would love to talk about, but we'll see if we can get to both of them. I want to go with wide receiver though.
Ooh, so I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna go with tight end. I know you were thinking about those 2.
Yeah. Okay. But because that's a tough one too, man. But so wide receiver, we did waive Williams already. Brennan Presley has looked really good as far as his route running and stuff like that. Drake Stoops, I think he's kind of given me what I've expected from him. Britton Covey looks solid. I would say that. I haven't seen anything that's totally popped out to me, but definitely a solid player there. And also can help on the returns, like many of these guys can. But what are you looking at in this room here?
I'll go bottom up. Shout out to True Edwards for that miraculous touchdown catch to win the game.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think him and Presley are obviously going to be here at the bottom. Above Stoops though, like Stoops is kind of just your prototypical camp body. He hasn't really done any. He's not a critical part of like special teams or the second offense. It seemed camp body for him. Same with Presley and Edwards. Unfortunately, I think they'll be practice squad if anything.
Yeah.
Brayton Covey, it's going to be live action. Like we're going to have to see who they end up rolling with punt returner wise. Kick return, I don't know if him and or Xavier Smith will be on there because with the new setup, I think they like the running back style of someone back there. Like Blake Corum, Schrader was back there. But definitely important for punt return. Yeah, I don't think Brennan Presley makes it. I think
how
6.
Many? 6?
I think 6. Yeah. The starting 4, of course.
Yeah, we know those. We know we got Devontae, Puka, Tutu, and Jordan. Those are locks. They're in for sure. Xavier, I think, is safe. So I think that goes to 5. And then it is between Britton, Drake, Brennan. Like that's where it gets tough. And that's where it also becomes like I think you have to help in other ways.
Oh no! So I'm actually wide receiver. I'm completely definite. The cutoff is Konate Mumfield.
And then everybody else is done, right?
5 and 6 is Xavier, and then Konate Mumfield. From what I've seen in preseason, what I heard at camp, like I spoke to Yarber specifically about Konate Mumfield. They love this guy. He's technical tools, all that. Yeah. What isn't talked about really yet is his football IQ and his like how smart he is about the game. Like Yarbs would not stop smiling about him. They love Konate. Like he's not going anywhere.
You know what? I'm gonna say we keep 7. Britton stays.
Woo! Yeah. Damn, that's deep. 7 is deep.
It is deep, but I think that's what we do, man. I think that there's a lot of rotation there. Yeah, we have to obviously you have to take away from a different position, and while we got a couple minutes here, let's go ahead and head over to tight end. We're not keeping 4.
Oh,
I think that if there's an odd man out, if it's my pick, I'm cutting Parkinson.
that's hard because he's been in street clothes.
Yeah. So I think he stays, but also, I mean, the clear-cut jump from when Tyler Higbee returned in the offense last year, it was very obvious. There was a very clear, like, lack of production from the tight end room last year from the Rams, and Parkinson was there the whole year. And it's like at some point you got to jump out and make some plays, and it just wasn't happening. I was underwhelmed by what we got from Colby Parkinson last year. And maybe it is just like a first year in the offense kind of thing, and he needs just one more to get going. But
could be.
I don't know, man. But I like Davis Allen too, and so that's a tough one. And then obviously Ferguson is going to come in and probably be 2. The unofficial has Parkinson as 2, but
yeah, Tyler Higbee starting. God, do they go with 4?
I don't know.
Like, because special teams, Davis Allen hasn't played in preseason, has he?
No,
he didn't play in the Chargers game. I'm trying to remember if he played in the Cowboys game. It was a lot of Mark Redmond, yes, on Saturday.
Yeah.
Does Terrence Ferguson make it? Like, I honestly didn't even get a chance to see Ferguson that much because he's been nursing something. Like, I think it was his groin. Right. So he missed like the second week of camp. He's barely getting back into the rhythm, like in day 3 or day 2 yesterday. I don't know, man. Davis Allen feels important, doesn't he?
I like Davis Allen, man. I think he's one of those really strong depth pieces that, like, I don't know. I guess in my mind, it's like he can do, if we need him to, he can do what like Kendall Blanton did in our Super Bowl run. You know what I mean? Like, if worst case scenario, he's got the skills to pull off and just like be part of the offense. And Blanton's run in that Super Bowl, it's like that's like such an unsung hero. You know what I mean? But I feel like Davis Allen has that in him, if that makes sense.
For me, he's like a big game for him will be like 5 catches, 40 yards, and all of them were like on a 2nd and 6, 3rd and 3, where he's like the third option. Maybe a touchdown here or there, but he's definitely not like not the same ceiling as Tyler Higbee for sure.
Yeah,
Parkinson has some good catches in training camp. I will say that. Only the reason I think they keep 4 is because I do believe there's going to be a shit ton of 12 and maybe even 13 personnel this year. So you need that depth. So maybe I think they keep 4. I don't know how it works out logistically with the other rest of the roster, but I can't see them cutting any one of these guys. Doesn't make sense.
It's so tough, man. That's a really tough one. I gotta go to work, unfortunately, so we do gotta cut this. I mean, if we're having trouble, I can't even imagine what Sean and the boys are those conversations are sounding like right now, man. I'm sure it's tough. I'm sure there's some position coaches fighting for some guys like, no, dude, we need this guy. And then, like, I think that there's probably some interesting stuff. Well, what I would do to be a fly on that wall, man.
Well, that's why Sean McVay and Les Snead, they watch us themselves personally to know what to do. Yep. Yeah. That's a fact. I'm not making that up.
Yep. Thank you, man. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate you, man.
Love you, Ray. Hell yeah.
All right, as we fade into the abyss here, let's do some let's just talk about let's name off some preseason heroes of Rams past. I'm just gonna start with the absolute preseason GOAT. Give me Nelson Spruce.
You're gonna go with the Spruce Goose even more than the future Hall of Famer Lance McCutcheon?
Oh man. That's a good pull, man. Good pull. Future Hall of Famer. I mean, where can we go without, the second coming of Calvin Johnson, though? Jacob Harris.